This is Century Age of Ashes. We're here on Xbox Series X, diving into this free-to-play, dragon riding, dragon fighting multiplayer experience. So be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. And on the Series X, what are we getting here for this release? Well, we're getting, according to the developer, 1600p at 30 FPS as a frame rate target for the game. It has the option to play with crossplay on or off if you'd like, and you're able to enjoy the battle with PC players. At a later time, this will also be available on PlayStation, so keep that in mind that it's just available for Xbox at this point in time. And it is also optimized for next gen as well, so it's taking advantage of that, and I'd say it looks pretty good. Now, I have noticed that there are some performance kind of hiccups here or there, as I actually hiccup myself almost, which is funny. But yeah, there are a couple moments where the performance dips a little bit. It's not too bad, but it is something that is present within this experience. I don't think it really impacts things too much, but every now and then you'll see that it does drop. There's also some crashes. Now, I've never had the game crash while I'm playing it. It seems to always crash while I'm loading into a match. So that's something to keep in mind, gameplay-wise, because it takes a second or two to matchmake, and having it crash when you're about to get into a match is a little disappointing. So what is this game exactly? As mentioned, it's a multiplayer only experience where it's PvP, 6v6, there's also a 3v3 option, there's ranked options, there's a couple different ways to play, a couple different modes to enjoy. So you're either doing like a Carnage type mode, which is basically like a dragon deathmatch, or you're doing this kind of gold mode where you are collecting gold and then putting it into your coffers in order to collect it, and the team with the biggest score by the end of the couple of rounds kind of wins. So like I was saying, it's round based, so it's like you win one round, you get a point. When you lose the next round, that's 1-1, and then the winner of the next one kind of wins. Stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? The rank play is between certain hours of the day only, so that's an interesting aspect to this. There's leveling, there's egg hatching. It doesn't appear to be a pay-to-win to any degree, because you are only getting cosmetic elements for your particular dragons. There are a few different classes, with the note that more classes will arrive in the future. So it sounds like more content is on the way. There are a few different stages and/or areas that you fight in, and these can have some slight variations to them in regards to this map, for example, kind of being day now, but there's another variation where it's a little bit more kind of like the sun is setting and whatnot. So that keeps things a little bit more fresh. Now, the content is a little bit light in this one, I would say, but it does keep things down to basics, and it actually is quite a lot of fun. You can have the different two modes kind of on like any of the maps, which is kind of nice, and they're kind of fun to play, and then there's those like the rank type options, which is kind of neat. So yeah, it can be quite enjoyable. I like the style of it. It's the like really crazy big dragon fighting action. I mean, I've always kind of wanted a game like this, or I always thought the idea of it would be kind of cool, and we're finally getting that here, and it looks really, really visually neat. Like, it looks really, it's just smooth and slick as you're kind of like flying through it. Obviously, having a higher frame rate would be ideal. That would definitely be ideal, but it does kind of look cool. And when I say slick and sleek, I'm saying like when there's particle effects flying, fire going on, projectiles going on, it looks cool. It really does. Like, it's just really, really neat looking. There's lots of good quality within the geometry of the world. It's actually like a pretty cool, fun game. There's lots of customization that I've seen. You can do some like dragon hatching. That's like kind of some elements to get some new dragon types. I've seen some pretty cool looking customized dragons. I mean, I don't think mine is at this point, but there's definitely some cool options. You seem to progress decently fast in regards to unlocking new cosmetic things that are just available for free, but obviously, you can also buy some like premium cosmetics in order to customize your experience a little bit further. When it comes to the dragon flying, I'd say that it all handles pretty well. You're whipping around. Once you get the hang of things, I don't think it's too hard to handle. It would be nicer if it was a little easier to do some like turning. I call it like tactical wall slamming sometimes. I have to kind of hit the wall to really give a good turn sometimes in order to evade an enemy. But there is like a lot of strategy in this one in regards to the combat. You know, it's pretty simple in regards to like aiming and that, but it's not so simple in regards to like, you know, actually getting your opponents killed, because, you know, obviously they're going to be evading, you're going to be evading. There's a lot of conflict here. It's like a flying game, but, you know, with dragons, and that's, to me, this is pretty cool. Like, this could be a lot of fun to play. It really can be. And there's a lot of like pickups on the map that you can kind of get. This mode has like a jewel thing. There's like a key thing that can open up the coffers and whatnot. You know, there's like little health kind of like items you can pick up, like little green little things that'll prop up your health. And there's also like little shields that'll give you a little bit of shielding during, you know, battles and stuff, and that's kind of nice. So there's a lot to this. I want to say, like, there actually is some complexity within the game itself. Content-wise, you know, I think you get a map or two more, you're pretty set. I would like them to experiment with some different modes, but I think the modes they do have now, pretty fun to play, pretty unique. You know, they have like a good kind of like setup to them. I like the design of them. They're very colorful, vibrant. I like the stamina system. So you see those little things at the bottom, you gotta go down and collect like stamina in order to use it. And then you got gold dragons that'll have like cash that you can pick up for this particular mode. It's a cool setup. What can I say? It's kind of neat. It's definitely got a different vibe to it. I don't know that there's many other games out there quite like this that I can think of off the top of my head, at least not in recent times. So I'd say this one actually kind of gets the mark, well, hits the mark, because it's got like a good amount of content to it, good looking visuals, it's got intense dragon action, it's enjoyable to me. I'm finding this to be kind of like fun. It's free to play. I haven't felt like I've been kind of outnumbered by people. I mean, except when I kind of started, I maybe didn't have as much of a knowledge of things, but, you know, when you're really moving in that, it's kind of cool, and it's neat how it's all like really seamless too, despite even having 6-on-6 action. There's a lot of dragons going around and stuff, and the world just seems to kind of fully be loaded, fully rendered. It's quite nice. So yeah, I like what they put together here. I think it's an enjoyable time. I think it's kind of a cool multiplayer game. I think you would find a lot of fun times to be had as you try to evade with your dragon, learn the movement, take on the enemies that are everywhere. There's always kind of some kind of conflict going on in this one, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's got challenge, it's got, I guess you would say, almost unlimited replayability if you like what this offers, because, well, you could just constantly be fighting off against different people. And if they put a good amount of, like, I guess you would say post-launch content to it, I think we're quite set for a pretty good time going into the future, because, well, you know, there'll just be lots that you can kind of do and jump into. See, that's just, like, crazy, like, hitting the walls, and then there's, like, particle things, and explosions, and fireballs, and... Ooh, that was close. So we'll jump into another match here. So this is the Carnage mode, the other option for competition. And yeah, like I was saying, I think there's a lot here. There's a neat leveling system that gives you a lot of cool things that you continue to use for battles and to have more fun with. I like the different setups. I like the combat. I like what this offers gameplay-wise. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a very different multiplayer game. I always appreciate having different options and different things to do and experience in gaming. So I think this one actually is very unique. I can't really think of too many other Dragon even games in recent memory that offer anything close to this. So I think this one is truly kind of distinct. The hatching system's kind of interesting. The combat's kind of cool. It's flashy. It's stylistic. It's got like a gritty, realistic look to it in general. I like the environments you go through. The different lanes for flying are really, really cool. I like the hazard elements of it. It's just like a really... To me, it's a very neat game. I think this one has a lot of potential, assuming people jump into it, give it a whirl. I think you can have a lot of fun flying around, battling, taking on enemies, whether that's with crossplay on or crossplay off, blasting each other, taking out other riders. That's kind of exciting. It's cool. It's neat, it's different. For the most part, it handles well. I would like them to obviously, you know, work on performance, which they have mentioned that they are looking at doing so. Getting this thing cleaned up, adding a little bit more to it over time. And I think we've got a really solid, fun experience that you can literally sink hours into if you like the dragon action. I mean, I certainly enjoy this. I think it's just like absolutely gnarly and just crazy. And it's wild seeing like the dragons just get like all burnt up and stuff, and I don't know, it's kind of a very different sort of setup from what we've seen in multiplayer games, and I kind of like that. So it's original, unique, thrilling, crazy, fireball frenzy of action, and it brings dragon multiplayer like I don't think we've really seen it before. And just gorgeous backdrops, great looking dragons, cool scenes, and a frenzy of random intensity as you battle along in this free-to-play dragon game. So, don't have any other details to provide past that. I hope I've kind of dug into things and showcased what this has to offer, given you an idea of it. And we'll just have some regular non-commentary gameplay at this point forward, so that you can see more of it in action if you'd like to. And good luck out there fighting with your dragons and taking on the enemies that are, you know, people you matchmake with and whatnot. It's a pretty cool game, seriously.